Hi everyone, this is Michael Brook from Rapid Couples Counselling. This video is entitled What I've Learnt from the 900 Sessions that I've done this year. Doing couples counselling and doing relationship work is a very, very interesting thing because you see lots and lots of people coming in and you see the same repeating patterns over and over and over and over. And a lot of people think that their experience is unusual or different. They may have never encountered a particular experience that they're going through, and they don't quite know how to navigate it. Hence, going to someone who's an expert and someone who has seen the same pattern 100 times. And when you see the same pattern 100 times, it's relatively easy to go, okay, this is the corrective action that you need to do because you've applied 100 corrections to the same problem and you get the result that you want. So for many people, they're lost. They're lost in a storm of their emotions. They're lost in a storm of not knowing what they're doing. They've never done it before. And they just kind of need a compass to find a way out of the storm and out of that sense of being lost. And when people come to me, I give them the compass. I say, this is what works. This is what appears to work. This is what success looks like. And this is what you both need to do in order for you to get out of that lost feeling, to give you a direction, to give you movement. Because forward movement isn't necessarily progress. Some people can feel like they're going forward, but they're actually going deeper into the problem. So you really need to have an idea of what success looks like, what the recipe for success is, and how you can move forward. And this is one thing that I work really hard with my clients is I make sure I'm saying, hey, this is what success looks like. This is direction forward. This is what I can see from dealing with 100 couples in exactly your circumstance. This is what the way forward looks like for you. After I lay that out, then it's up to them to see whether or not they can do it. And sometimes they can, and sometimes they can't. There's a saying in the relationship counselling community that often people reach out help 6 months after when they should, and this is true. That said, I specialize in helping people who have the experience where they're right on the edge of disaster, but that's when most people reach out for help. The first thing I've learned is the incredible commonality of human experience and the incredible commonality of human experience with respect to relationships. People have the same experience over and over and over again. Human beings want what they want. It doesn't matter what culture they come from, how old they are, how young they are, how many relationships they've had before, how many marriages they've had before, how many kids they've had. Human beings have certain fundamental needs in order for them to experience happiness in a relationship with somebody. And those vary very little from what I can tell. So that's the first thing, the commonality of human experience. The next thing that is incredibly apparent to me is the beauty of human emotion. This is a bit of a challenge for men, particularly if their partner is being very emotional, if their partner is having a meltdown or crying in front of them. A lot of guys really don't know how to deal with that well. But when you see emotions, particularly women's emotions, as being beautiful, when you see that, then it's an amazing thing where you go, oh, okay, there's beauty. So rather than feeling challenged or defensive or go into problem solving, just say, okay, give me more of that emotion. Like, let me see more, because it's incredibly beautiful. And, women will crawl over barbed wire for a man who understands them emotionally and cares about what's going on for them emotionally. It's a remarkable thing. So the beauty of women's emotions. The next thing is the extent to which indifference and taking a partner for granted kills relationships. A lot of people these days are very stressed. They have stress with work, they have financial stress, they have stress with their relationship, they have stress with kids. And if you combine all those things, you got one really, really stressed out cookie. And often when people are very, very stressed, they put their relationship at the bottom of their priority list, not the top. That's not a good way of being happy. Taking your partner for granted, allowing that stress to dominate your life, and being indifferent to your partner is a really bad way of dealing with stress, because good relationships assist people in dealing with stress. Good relationships reduce the pain and suffering of life, and they assist people in getting their experience they want to and reducing the amount of stress. That's If you've got a whole heap of stress in your life, it's probably a good idea to try and reduce that as much as you can. Some people have limited capacity to reduce the stresses in their lives, but a lot of people can. By reducing that stress, by getting out of indifference, by giving your time and attention to your partner, you can build the thing that sustains you the most, which is your relationship, or that should sustain you the most. The next thing is that there's no escaping consequences. A lot of people think they can escape the consequences of their behaviour because their partner's chosen to be with them, has said, I do, and then they think their partner will tolerate any kind of bullshit that they give them. That's not true. Like, relationships occur by mutual consent, and by mutual consensus, and that consent, that choosing of your partner, is a choice people make every single day. And people can wake up one day and go, I'm not choosing this. Now, gone are the times when marriage or the maintenance of an unhappy relationship is socially approved of. These days, if you're in an unhappy marriage or unhappy long-term relationship, it's socially acceptable to leave it. 50 years ago, that wasn't the case. If you're married and you were unhappy with your husband or wife, it was expected, because of marriage was a societal institution, it was expected for you to stay. Those days are long gone. And so it's really important to recognise that choices continually being remade. We make our choices every single day. We wake up, we make our choices. You would choose to be with your partner every day. You choose to show up the way you're showing up every day. If you want a better relationship, it's up to you to show up differently. They can respond, and if they respond positively, well, that's good. If they don't respond positively, then you've got to ask the question, why am I here? And that's a useful question to ask. There's no escaping the consequences of your choices, and it's also useful to recognise that choices are being continually remade. Another thing that sticks out to me is that frequently people who are miserable and unhappy in long-term relationships do so because their belief system precludes happiness. So if I have a belief system, I don't know, that I need to continually get validation from my partner and continually seeking out validation from my partner, that makes my internal emotional state contingent on everything that my partner does. And at the beginning of the relationship, that might seem like a good idea because your partner's giving you a whole heap of attention and effort. But add 15, 20, 30 years, then my partner's going to feel like they're being controlled like crazy, and they're going to feel like they're totally fucking miserable because their partner is making them feel like every little thing they do feels like their entire world's exploding. This is not a good way of having a relationship. Making your happiness contingent on the finest things that your partner does is a really nice way of being miserable forever, because you will find ways of finding negative things and the negative interpretations of what they do really easily. Inside human beings, we have a negativity bias. And negativity bias has actually been studied in that the unconscious mind tends to pay far more attention on the negative than it does the positive. It's an evolutionary survival thing, so it's far better to be aware that things can hurt you and kill you than it is to be aware of things that can keep you happy. Because if you avoid more things are going to hurt you, then you're going to stay alive for a lot longer. So the negativity bias shows out in relationships all the time. It's really easy to focus on what your partner's doing that's not right. It's really easy to remember all the shit your partner did from 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago that was wrong. It's far more difficult from a neurological perspective to focus on all the things they did right. But that's what's necessary in order for you to maintain happiness. And the couples that are happy forever are really, really, really happy. They focus on the positive things their partner does, not the negative. So these are some random thoughts and some random collection of ideas and things that have really, really stuck out over the 900 sessions that I've done this year. I hope this has helped. If your relationship's having a struggle, please give me a call on 0432 681 321. There's a link in the description for my booking page. And If you want to click on the link and book in a session, that's great. There's a link in the description for my book, Thriving in Flux, 9 Timeless Principles of Relationship Happiness and Success. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to making more quality content for you shortly. Thanks very much. Bye.